Hi, my name is Robin Craigen. Back in the 90s, I was working as a bareboat captain and doing yacht charters around the British Virgin Islands. And one day I met this beautiful girl, Heather, who hired on with me to do a charter together.
Yeah. Say hi, Heather.
Hello, how you doing?
And that became the beginning of a long voyage, you could say, together. I was able to help Heather get a job on a much higher class charter yacht, Endless Summer 2, which is a long-standing and very well-respected charter yacht in the Virgin Islands, a 72-foot monohull that had been in business for many years. And there she worked with Captain Barry Rice, super experienced, had been in the Virgin Islands for many years, and he really showed her the tricks of the trade and taught her the way of running his boat. And it wasn't long before young Heather kicked Barry off his boat and persuaded him to hire me as the captain, and that's when we began running the boat together.
So living in the Caribbean, fantastic thing to do throughout our 20s. We really enjoyed our time just sailing around with people. We were on that boat 30 weeks a year, Sunday mornings to Saturday nights. It was a lot of traveling. Wasn't the ideal setting to have a family. And when we thought about it, we still loved the industry, but we couldn't figure out how we could do that industry and have a family and be together.
I think the primary driver was hearing from the guests that these were some of the best vacations that they'd ever had. And I think that began the inspiration of how could we stay in this business? That we were having so much fun. We didn't want to get off the boat and just get a job on land. We thought about how we could create the same kind of experiences by ourselves in an environment where we could raise a family together. We came up with the idea, we always say, sitting on the back of a yacht in the Caribbean, of how we could translate the experience from the yacht into a catered chalet in the mountains in Colorado.
When I met Robin, he had already been involved in a ski chalet business in Europe, and I thought the concept sounded fantastic to live in a ski town, do the exact same thing we were doing on the charter yachts, taking care of guests, taking care of families, enjoying people's best days of their lives.
And after a lot of research, we hit upon Steamboat Springs as the perfect mountain town where we could raise a family. So in 1997, inspired by our conversation on the back of the boat, we jumped on a plane, flew to Colorado. 2 visits later, we found the perfect chalet, and the dream began.